So for all the money in my left front pocket, who can say the first line of that song? Paul?
We skipped a Lifetime Tango.
That's right, Michael. And for the rest of the money in my left front pocket, who knows the group who sang that song? There we go. There we go. Anyway, thank you, Michael, for that. Good afternoon. My name's Tim Boovey, and I'm today's service associate. And our dear pastor, Matt, will be giving the message from North Carolina. So we're relying on technology today. So glad to be here with all of you. Most of you look like familiar faces, but there's at least one person I think who's visiting. And I think that's Mia. Would you like to introduce yourself for us?
Good afternoon. I'm Mia Ruiz, AKA Miriam Ruiz, my birth name. And I've come because I want to be inspired and I need inspiration, and my dear friend Flo has invited me to attend. So I'm delighted to be here.
Before we, anybody on Zoom, Kate, this morning that's a visitor? I'm going out of order, so.
No, we have no visitors on Zoom.
In that case, our opening words today are by Paul LaHeroux, and here's what he had to say to help us kind of move into this space this morning, this afternoon. We gather in community to rest from our labors, to greet our neighbors, and to open our beings to insight and intuition of that greater reality of which we are a part. May we find in our time together inspiration and renewal. May we touch the holy in each other and be touched by the graciousness of life. May we find here a calm, peacefulness that will carry us through the days ahead. Amen. So Mia, since you're new here, if you'd like to receive announcements, you can go to our website. Flo will tell you where that's at. And for the rest of you, I think you know the drill on that. But I do want all of you to know, whether you're Mia, a visitor, or regulars, we're really glad you're here today. So thanks for coming. So let's see, what do we have? Everybody feels welcomed? Good. So here at LCUUF, as you know, we offer a wide variety of services. They happen on Sundays and throughout the week, and if you're interested in any of those things, you're more than welcome to participate, and we hope you just keep coming back and sample what we have going on here each Sunday. Our chalice lighting words today, thanks Flo, are by a gentleman named Tom Goldsmith, and here's what Tom has to say. Symbol of light and knowledge, symbol of warmth and freedom, we light this chalice as a symbol of our faith. Here we gather to celebrate hope and the infinite possibilities of love. Having lit our chalice, let's join together and sing these words that you'll see on the monitor.
Kindle this night in celebration for the life that we share.
And this is the time in our service now where we get to share with one another the things that are on our hearts, whether they're joyful or sorrowful, or maybe there's a milestone that you want to recognize this morning. And the way we do this is you just slip your hand in the air if you have something you want to share, and Flo will bring the mic to you. And we'll turn that yellow mic on here in a moment. So if you have, and we're going to start here in the room and give the folks on Zoom a chance to write their joys and sorrows into the chat box. So anything going on in your lives that you'd like to mention, either as a joy or a sorrow or a commemoration? Paula.
Hi, I'm Paula, and I'm sure everyone has this joy of the rains.
Yeah,
Yay.
absolutely. Absolutely.
If you step back a little bit, face.
Oh, my face is going to look better if I get out of that light. So I'm happy about that. So I have kind of a combination sorrow, joy flow that I'll share right from this mic. Some of you know that I'll be leaving this week, actually on Thursday, and I'm heading to Lake Tahoe in California, kind of a nice destination. That's something to be joyful about. And I'll be there for a long spell, 3 months. I'm taking charge of a small congregation there and be leading them for their summer services. So I'll be standing in front of people like you every Sunday for a while. But I will, the sorrow part of this is missing you all. I'm the kind of person that gets attached to people, and it's always a little sad when I don't get to see people that are in my heart, as you people are here. So that's the sad part of it. But hopefully it'll be a great experience, and I'll tell you all about it when I get back sometime in September. Anything else? Great. Floyce, you over there?
My younger brother of 5 years is in the hospital. He's been there for a month, and no one in sight quite yet. But he's taking a special chemical he's found, and it appears to be helping. So good luck to him.
What, and your name is?
My name is Bob, Robert.
Robert. Okay, we'll remember your younger brother. Thanks,
His
Robert.
name is David.
David,
Thank
okay, great. Kate, what do we got on Zoom today in joys and sorrows?
We have a couple. Joy from Colleen Berry. The surgeon took out my chemo port last week. One more step to healing. Also, a joy is that I will get to spend the month of August in Ahihique.
Great.
And hang on just a sec here. From Devorah, a joy. I am in New Hampshire for the next month, staying with long-term good friends, very close to where my son's family lives. I went to the service at my home church and out to lunch with friends. And a sorrow from Devorah. I found out that a good friend here has been diagnosed with brain cancer and has about a year to live. She is a real go-getter and has started many successful social justice programs here. And that's it, I'm pretty sure.
Thank you, Kate. So we have this candle behind me, and this is a candle from our care team. And Flo will light that for us. And that sort of gathers up all the joys and sorrows that have been expressed aloud, and also the ones that we didn't feel that we wanted to express this morning, but they're in our hearts. So we'll light that candle, and thank you, Flo, and we'll just pause for a few moments to just to carry all these things that have been expressed. As all of us know, in order for a fellowship like this to continue, it requires our participation in lots of ways, both physically, but also in what we can do monetarily. And this is a time in our service where we take an offering. And the offering we take in the baskets goes to an organization. And in the month of May, it's the organization Poco a Poco. And you'll see a piece about that. And while we're passing, Michael will play some music for us. And we'll receive your gifts with gratitude. And I was supposed to say that if you're struggling to hold things together and you put money in that pot, you can take it back out. Otherwise, thank you. But yes, we don't like to strain anybody around here. And, you know, our hope when we make these offerings, of course, is that they not only are a blessing to us as the givers, but to the organizations that receive them, that their work goes on. And it's really a way for this church to flourish, this fellowship to flourish in the community. So it's a great thing, and thank you for your generosity. Now we have a chance to get up, and that is because we're going to sing our opening hymn, which is entitled, Where Do We Come From? And I think Michael's got a little something in store for us on this one.
Yeah, so this hymn is basically around where one part joins in after another. So basically this hymn is around where one part joins in after another, and it goes round and round and round until we've had enough of it, and then we stop. But I was hoping that we're kind of a small congregation today, so it's going to be very difficult to put that into a 4-part round. So what we're going to do is it's in 3 lines, and I think if we can get the next slide up. There. Okay, so you see, where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going? That's the first one. And then, where do we come from? And then, mystery, mystery, life is a riddle and a mystery. So I'm going to play each line, and you're going to sing it, right? And then we're going to do it all together, one line after the other, and we repeat every line just once. So let's try this.
Yeah, let's give it a go. This ought to be fun. Yeah, stand if you can. Yes, it will. Yes, it will. And we're not quite ready to take it on the road yet, Michael. And apologies to our friends on Zoom this morning for that. But fortunately, we've got Matt coming up, and that'll straighten everything out.
I don't know about that. So, good afternoon. It's good to be with you all, coming in remotely from the mountains of North Carolina. So the title of this service comes from that hymn we just sang. Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going? And those words are the title of a painting by the French artist Paul Gauguin while he lived in Tahiti. He painted this in 1897 to 1898. And when I sat down to write this sermon, I looked at the topic description that I had written, some months ago for the newspaper, and it read, among the most fundamental of spiritual questions are those asked in the title of this service. Who are we? Where are we going? These questions, along with other questions like where do we come from and why are we here, form the core of most legitimate spiritual explorations, even if they are not asked directly. And I'm telling Zoom that I am speaking English. I don't think I'm speaking some other language. Maybe I have a bit of a Southern accent just from hanging around in North Carolina. So when I looked at that, I immediately thought, Matt, what have you got yourself into writing that mammoth description? You could do a whole sermon series on this topic and hardly scratch the surface. You could teach a whole semester class and it would be an intro class. This is a lifetime of work for some people. So I'm just going to dial it back a bit. I'm just going to focus on the question, where are we going? And that is to say, not where are we going as in heaven, hell, some afterlife, or some form of reincarnation, but rather, where are we going in this life? That is to say, what is our mission, our purpose in this life? That's a large enough question. It's a huge question in itself, but at least we can at least sample it this morning. So where are we going is about finding some direction in your life. It's about defining what you are about. Because as the old saying goes, if you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there. So having a sense of purpose, especially if it's written out as some kind of mission statement, can help you stay on the right road for you. Even when people try to pull you off the road with their demands and guilt trips, you can keep to your course. Even when part of your mind is attracted to the latest fad or glittery gewgaw, you can keep to the road. But how do you find the road that's right for you? What is your purpose in the world? How do you begin to answer that question? It sounds so huge. Now, for some people, the answer just pops out to you. It's crystal clear. There's a brief, possibly autobiographical story from the writer Annie Dillard, and she says, and I quote, "A well-known writer gets collared by a university student who asked, 'Do you think I could be a writer?' Well, the writer said, 'I don't know. Do you like sentences?' The writer could see the student's amazement. 'Sentences? Do I like sentences? I'm like 20 years old and do I like sentences?' Annie Dillard goes on. If he had liked sentences, of course, he could begin like a joyful painter I knew. I asked him how he came to be a painter. He said, 'I liked the smell of paint.' But if your life purpose isn't crystal clear, don't despair. I've been surprised to learn that developing a sense of purpose for your life doesn't have to be a long, drawn-out process. I'm part of a men's group, part of an organization called the Mankind Project. And one of the things we do on our weekend retreats is write personal mission statements. It doesn't take long, maybe an hour, both for explaining the process and writing a one-sentence mission statement. But here's an even quicker way to get at a personal mission statement. Here's a clip from a TED Talk called How to Know Your Life Purpose in 5 Minutes. Now, this TED Talk is by Adam Leipzig, an American film and theater producer. And he's talking about his 25th college reunion, in which he realized that 80% of his old college friends were unhappy with their lives, even though they were very privileged and successful. The clip begins with Leipzig discovering what the other 20% knew. And by the way, you can follow along silently answering the questions he asks if you like. Here we'll get the clip.
And as I spoke with the 20%, the happier 20%, I discovered that each of them knew something about their life purpose because they knew 5 things: who they were, what they did, who they did it for, what those people wanted or needed, and what they got out of it, how they changed as a result. Does that sound hard? It's not. It's actually really simple. In fact, it's so simple that you can learn your life purpose now. You're going to know your life purpose now in the next 5 minutes. Right. Everybody, on the count of 5, shout out your first name. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fabulous. That was the first one, only 4 to go. That's who you are. All right, now what do you do? What do you love to do? You love to write, cook, design, create iOS apps, write code, crunch numbers, talk, teach. What do you love to do? And if there's a lot of things that come up for you, focus it down by asking yourself this one question. What is the one thing that right now you feel supremely qualified to teach other people? Think about that in one word. Hold it, don't release it yet. On the count of 5, what do you do? 1, 2, 3, 4. Great, that's what you do. Now, think about who you do it for. Picture them in your mind. Be ready to say it on the count of 5. Hold it, don't release it yet. 1, 2, 3, 4. Thank you. That is the spirit that we need. Okay, now, what do those people want or need? What do they want or need that you have, that they've come to you so you can give them this thing? What do they want or need? In just 1 or 2 words, hold it, don't release it yet. And on the count of 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fantastic. Now, this is the best one. How do they change? How do they change or transform as a result of what you give them? On the count of 5, how do they change or transform as a result of what you give them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Terrific. Now, we're going to put this all together kind of in a sentence, okay? Everyone together, louder than the people in the tent. Who are you? What do you do? Who do you do it for? What do they want or need? How do they change as a result? Fantastic. You have all just done something that people who went to Yale could not figure out for 25 years. Congratulations. Give yourselves a hand.
So there you go. So to recap, the 5 questions he asked are, who are you? What do you do? Who do you do it for? What do they want or need? And how are they changed or transformed as a result? Now, I want to acknowledge that, well, some people can come up with pithy and poetic purpose statements and laser-focused missions. Many of us, especially those of us with significant life experience, may have looser, less focused missions. Maybe there are several important activities in our life, and we just cannot pick a single one. Our missions can adapt to acknowledge those realities about our lives. Now, Leipzig makes another important point. He says that 3 out of the 5 questions are about other people. Who do you do it for? What do they want? And how are they changed? When our focus is on other people, we are likely to be happier as a result. Leipzig says, happier people make it a point to make other people happy. Now then, some of us may not even be sure that the life we're living has that outward focus that Leipzig mentions. But maybe a little reframe might help us point our passions a bit beyond ourselves. So let's say if your life is all about pickleball, maybe your mission is to use your pickleball skills to help others develop their own skills, find joy, and stay fit. Or if your life is about social events, maybe your mission could be to help others connect and thus avoid loneliness. These little reframes may help us move from a focus on ourselves to others around us, which will likely bring more meaning, happiness, and satisfaction in our lives. In 1899, the great German poet Rainer Maria Rilke wrote the poem Alles noch nicht gesagt, here translated by Anita Barrows and Joanna Macy. And Tim will read this poem.
I believe in all that has never yet been spoken. I want to free what waits within me, so that what no one has dared to wish for may for once spring clear without my contriving. If this is arrogant, God forgive me, but this is what I need to say. May what I do flow from me like a river, no forcing and no holding back, the way it is with children. Then in these swelling and ebbing currents, these deepening tides moving out, returning,
Yep.
I will sing to you as no one ever has, streaming through widening channels into the open sea.
So where are we going? To twist up Rilke's words just a little bit, may what we do flow from us like a river. May what we do stream through widening channels out into the open sea. May what we do serve our passions, serving others, flowing out, serving that oneness, all of humanity, the earth, the universe, even God. May what we do give our lives meaning. And let's take some time now for a brief meditation. Just a silent meditation. Perhaps we're tapping into that oneness. Perhaps we're just sitting, allowing things to flow like that river out to the sea. For just a few moments, we'll take some time for silence. So now let's shift from ourselves to the organizations we belong to. What happens when an organization doesn't have a sense of mission? What happens when a congregation, one like this fellowship, doesn't have a sense of purpose? Or, well, maybe it does have a mission statement written down in a book somewhere, but no one knows it. No one ever consults it. And it's certainly not in the culture of the organization. Here's what can happen to congregations that lack any sense of mission. We have a little video. And it's, that's not it. That's it.
Hi, what's that? Oh, hi, these are flyers for game night. I was going to put them out here in the lobby on a little table, but there isn't a little table to put them on.
We need to buy a little table.
A little table would be perfect right there.
I'll bring it up at the next board meeting. Just one last item. Marcia and I thought that we should buy a little table for the foyer.
Do we really need a little table?
It would be nice if we had something to put our flyers on.
Can't we use the table that we already have? I mean, we have tables here.
Well, we could, but they're a little big for the lobby.
Seems a little silly to buy a table when we have other tables.
I understand that, but...
Please watch your tone. Do not yell.
I'm just talking about buying a little table at IKEA or Target.
Don't be condescending. Do you think we don't know where to buy a table?
I know you
I
do.
don't need you to tell me where we can buy a table.
Is anyone else cold in here? Why is it so cold in here? Maybe someone can donate a table. That way we don't have to spend the money.
Saving money, that's what we should be doing. Not pissing away our money on it.
Melissa, do you know anybody who might donate a little table?
I think Harry Stein owns the Cherry Cafe. Maybe he can donate one.
Could you ask him, Melissa? That would be great. Okay, Melissa, did you have a chance to ask Harry about the table? Melissa, are you okay?
I feel like I have to do everything. Why don't you call him? The table was your idea. I don't even think we need a table. In fact, I think this table is evidence of an overall systematic problem in our organization.
So that's why you've been waiting to ask about a table?
It's so cold in here. Can we turn the heat on? Heat is expensive. I think we should save money at every turn.
I agree 100% with my wife, as I always do. My yum yum kitten. My yum yum kitten. My yum yum kitten. Money on heat can be spent on a lot of things, like...
Like this little table. We need one.
Wait a minute, slow down there. There's a lot of variables that go into this decision.
Listen, I'm an ER nurse. I save lives. I don't make business decisions. I think we need to bring in a professional, someone who can really help us with this little table situation.
And I'd like to thank our congregant, Jane Grossenberger. Jane is a very successful businesswoman.
Okay, we're going to talk business today. I have 39 dog grooming centers across 3 states, and we don't spend a penny unless it helps our bottom line. You understand?
Exactly. This little table is a business decision.
No. A goal.
Still no decision on the table yet?
It's just a cheap little table. I don't even know why we're arguing about it.
They just don't understand that this little table is a very important business decision.
I'm throwing money down the toilet. Is this little table going to help educate our grandchildren? No, I don't think so.
I don't either.
Okay, so we've got a consultant. His name is Jonathan, and Jonathan has a PhD in little table buying from Brandeis, so he knows what he's talking about.
I want to start with an exercise. I want you to close your eyes. Imagine you're a game night flyer. Where would you want to nest? And when you wake up, you will know if you should be on a little table or not. Please make the check out to my corporation, not me as an individual. It's $785 an hour, but we went over the hour mark. So that's another $300.
What are you guys doing in here? Oh my goodness, it's Eleanor. She only speaks when she has something really important to say, just like everybody else in the synagogue.
Why do we spend our precious energy on things that just don't matter, when we could be out there helping the world, helping the needy, helping the kids that don't have food?
I think she's right.
I am so motivated. I'm going to change this world.
Me too. Why do we get so bogged down by little things?
I appreciate that you all are feeling more connected to one another, but the fact remains, you still have flyers, and you still need a table on which to put them. Decision time.
It's bad business. Guys, these flyers are from 8 months ago. We missed the event.
Wait a second. These flyers are green. We didn't vote on that.
Because green is God's favorite color, and everyone knows it, so we didn't need a vote.
So I love the turning point in this video when Elephant Hunter shows up and we're asked, why do we spend our precious energy on things that just don't matter? Because that's what often happens in an organization without a sense of purpose. In a missionless organization, we can get sucked up into what UU Minister Nancy McDonald Ladd calls fake fights. She points out that fake fights could be about words in the bylaws or the paint color of a bathroom. And I'd add about a little table. These fake fights take up our time when the real fights are about our values, our future direction, about giving voice to the powerless, and certainly about helping kids that don't have food. And the sense of mission, of purpose, doesn't just apply to congregations. It applies to organizations of all kinds. In the country I come from, there used to be a sense of implicit mission during the time when I grew up. The USA was about modeling and promoting freedom and democracy in the world. Now, people certainly disagreed on how to do this. By hard power, that is, by military might, or soft power, think the Peace Corps. But supporting freedom and democracy was missional. I truly think that today the USA has lost its mission and is drifting like a rudderless, powerless ship in a turbulent sea. I grieve for the future. But back to us here in Mexico. It's time for Lake Chapala Unitarian Universalist Fellowship to articulate our mission. I say articulate because I think we do have a strong sense of mission. It just needs to be put into words and written down. I feel this way because we don't seem to have a lot of fake fights around here. Still, writing a mission statement will help us in the future, giving us direction, helping us choose the right roads to go where we want to go. Now, the process of creating a congregational mission statement doesn't need to be long and drawn out, just as the process of creating a personal mission statement can be done quickly. But it does need to include everyone that wants to contribute. So we're looking for a skilled facilitator to work with us on the process. And we're also thinking about when and how to do this so that we can include all that want to help. A mission points us to the future. It helps us see beyond the day-to-day into tomorrows far beyond our own. To get a sense of what a mission offers us, consider the words by Catholic Archbishop Oscar Arnulfo Romero of El Salvador. Tim will read.
This is what we are about. We plant seeds that one day will grow. We water seeds already planted, knowing that they hold future promise. We lay foundations that will need further development. We provide yeast that produces effects beyond our capabilities. We cannot do everything, and there is a sense of liberation in realizing that. This enables us to do something and do it very well. It may be incomplete, but it is a beginning, a step along the way, an opportunity for God's grace to enter and do the rest. We may never see the end results, but that is the difference between the master builder and the worker. We are the workers, not master builders, ministers, not messiahs. We are prophets of a future not our own. Our closing hymn today is For All That Is Our Life, and I'll ask if you would please rise in body and or spirit, and we'll join in singing.
For all life is a gift, which we are called to use to build the common good and make our own days glad. And in using that gift of life, we are called to mission, to plant seeds that one day will grow, to water seeds that are already planted for some future promise. That we too are prophets of a future not our own, a future made better by our purposeful contributions. May it be so.
Let us extinguish our chalice with these words which we'll read together. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we keep in our hearts and share with all the world. Oh, okay.
What's in this grab bag that I call my mind? What am I doing alone on the shelf? Ain't it a shame that no one's to blame but myself? Which way is clear when you've lost your way? Do I keep falling in love for just the kick of it, staggering through the thin and thick of it, hating each road, tired trick of it, know what I am, I'm good and sick of it. Where am I going? Why do I care? Where it's far, run where it's fair. No matter where I run, I meet myself there looking inside me. What do I see? Anger and hope and doubt. What am I all about and where am I going? Why do I care? No matter where I run, I meet myself there looking inside me. What do I see? Anger and hope and doubt. What am I all about and where am I going? Tell me where am I
There's somebody who knew her purpose, huh? Yeah, still does. Our worship is over. Our service begins. So go in peace and with a purpose. Thanks for coming.